My name is Cheryl Wang. I work for as the Career Center as an employer engagement coordinator, but I'm also a culture lover. So today, my presentation topic will be on harmony across cultures. I will showcase my cultural experiences and share with you my learnings in Canada. Although I'm a Chinese. I grew up in China. I lived in China for 19 years until I moved to Canada. But I never learned about those my culture, those instruments, traditional instruments, and also the drumsong I'm going to demonstrate in my home country. It was not until I settled in Canada I realized how diverse, our Canadian culture is, and also I also realized how minimum that I know about my own culture. So that's gives me the opportunity to go back to my home country and learn with the with my culture. So I'm hoping today my learning and sharing with you will inspire you to learn about your own culture. So before we begin, because we all believe that art is not something that we could explain with words. So the piece I just performed for you, it's a drinking song. It's called a drinking song, 酒狂. This piece is a traditional Qin instrument. It is the oldest string instrument in China, over 3,000 years old. You may never heard about this, but this instrument actually was on space in the 1970s when the United States sent aircraft to the space. There is a golden box. Inside the golden box, there is a black record. In the record, there is maybe about a dozen of the music and sound represent a different culture. So the only one piece represents Chinese culture is the Qin piece. It's flowing water, and that piece is 7 minutes long. So if you have the opportunity, you can go and hear about it. And the first piece I'm going to perform it's actually a Chinese poem called 静夜思. This poem is about nostalgia, home, and longing. So this is a poem based on a famous Tang Dynasty poet Li Bai. Some of you may heard a little bit about the Chinese poetry. So Li Bai is considered, or they call him Li Po, is considered one of the greatest Chinese poets in the Tang Dynasty, and they call him Shi Sheng, the sage of the poem. So I'm going to recite the poem accompanied by my Qin instrument. And the poem goes to, I translated in Chinese, 床前明月光. This poem is called 静夜思, Quiet Night Thoughts. 床前明月光, Bright moonlight for bed, 疑是地上霜. 举头望明月, Watching the moon spread. And 低头思故乡, I had bold, missing my hometown. So I'm going to recite the poem. In the ancient times, all the poems are recited that, like they are chanting the poetries. 床前明月光，疑是地上霜。举头望明月，低头思故乡。床前明月光，疑是地上霜。举头望明月，思故乡。This just to show you in the ancient times how does the scholars or the well-educated, the people they recite and then they create they recite and then they compose the poems. It's all like a singing. So that's the Chinese narrative, one of the Chinese narrative storytelling tradition to learn about the cultures and then to express the feelings and emotions. Yes. Okay. So, a second. Okay. So as an immigrant to Canada, my journey has been one of the blending traditions, bridging cultures, and in bridging a cultural identity. So I believe through music, especially the narrative. Those kind of narrative genres of music, like the Qin music and also the Chinese drum song, storytelling drum song, I have found a unique way to showcase my own heritage and to express my cultural identities in a new land. And last summer, supported by Edmonton Arts Council, I had the opportunity to study with a Chinese drum song artist in my hometown. Actually, I'm from Tianjin, which they call it the folk art hub. There's lots of traditional art forms still survived in my home country. So I have the opportunity to learn the professional drum singing techniques. And so this ancient melody connected with my roots and also allow me to share my cultural learnings with my friends in Canada. I also went to a drum making workshop at the NorQuest Indigenous Study Program. I see the similarities and differences between Chinese culture, drum culture, and singing culture, and then also the indigenous. But they all about blending the traditions and then to express, to learn from the past and express your feelings and to shape your identity. And this piece I'm going to perform today is a type of the drum song called the 梅花大鼓, a plum blossom drum song. This genre originated in the late Qing dynasty. The last dynasty is the Qing Imperial China, which is ruled by the Manchurian minority. And right now, a majority of the Chinese people, we are Han descendant, so we are the Han people. But at the Qing and during the Qing time, Manchurians, they are the well-educated class. They are the one ruling the nation. So they've also developed their narrative culture tradition. Through drum songs, there's different drums. I'm going to show you this one. I have two drums here, actually. So this is a stand-up drum. So when we sing, it's also a storytelling technique. When we sing, the person will be standing here. The narrator will be standing here. And then I will play the drum, and then with the singing, it's usually about tells a story, usually from the classical folk novels, usually love story as well as martial arts story. Actually the purpose for this type of performance, first is to entertain, and second is to educate about us to do good things, to be virtuous, those kind of thing. So this is a type of drum, and then I have a bamboo stick. Use it to beat the drum. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. And yes, this is a wooden clapper sound. It helps to make the beats. It has three components. And then I mentioned the piece I'm going to perform is called Plum Blossom Drum Song. That is a literal style of drum song because the lyrics are mostly composed by the Manchurian scholars, so they're very poetic and literal. It's not very vernacular, but there's other type of drum songs like Beijing style drum song, 京韵大鼓. It's very popular and very spoken language. And this instrument in my hand is called octagonal drum song. It has 8 angles, so that's why it's called octagonal drum song. Even the instrument itself has cultural meanings. So the 8 angles represents, like I mentioned, this is also the Manchurian. They developed this art form during when they in the armies. It's the Manchurian soldiers. The 8 angle represents actually the 8 levels, 8 class of the when the Manchurian ruled the Qin dynasty. And then this is like the plum blossom. Inside there is a 3, we call it cha, I don't know how to translate in English, but the 3, there is 8 of them, so 3 multiply 8 means 24. This represents the 24 mountains that the Manchurians ruled the nation. So, and even this one, the draperies, also has meaning. This is it's a 中国节. This is a nod, means lucky. And then these 2 means something about the harvest, wishing them a prosperous year's harvest. So this is a very political instrument. But even during that time, you only hear it in the small Manchurian circles. You don't hear it like in common people's life. But later, when the Qing dynasty, when they overturned the Qing dynasty, so those Manchurians, they don't get paid by the government because there's no Qing dynasty anymore. So then they call it 下海, jump into the sea, which means they become from amateur artist to professional. So the difference between amateur and professional is professional artists use their performance to make a living. But where before, because they get paid by the government, they are they don't they don't use this. They just use this as a fun, as a personal enjoyment, but not as a profession. Yeah. So I'm going to perform your piece called Melodies from the Western Chamber, 十字西厢. This piece is also from a classical Chinese novel. Like I mentioned, the plum blossom drum song is very literal. So the lyrics are usually from classic novels. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. Thank you. So this is about a maiden try to help her master, which is how to say, a well-educated young girl from a wealthy family to marry this young scholar. So yeah, this is about a love story. It's very short. Most of the drum song pieces, they are quite long, but about 10 to 20 minutes. Yeah, and there is also different types can be longer. Because ancient times we don't have TV, so that is one of the entertainment. They can talk about the stories for days, for weeks. You go to the tea house, they watch this as an entertainment. Yeah, thank you. Okay, that is my demonstration for the narrative drum song. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Because drumming is deeply rooted in both the Chinese and also the indigenous cultures. And in China, 大鼓, we call it 大鼓, translated as a big drum. Yeah, big drum, 大鼓. It's a storytelling art form where you have rhyme, melody, as well as narration blend into to preserve the history and traditions. And similarly, we know the indigenous drum song in Canada also serves as a means to tell stories and also healing and culture transmission. So through distinct and both traditions have a deep respect of our ancestry, our culture and rhyme, and also as well as the oral history. Yeah, that's what I want to find the similarity between two cultures. Okay. I think that's basically it. Okay. So to conclude with my presentation today, and I will perform a piece called 九狂, which some of you might heard, but even the same piece can have different rhymes, so it sounds a little bit different. So for this 九狂, I'm going to recite a poem. This 九狂is a piece by Ran Qi, who is a poet from the Three Kingdom period. This piece is originated in the early 16th century. So how many hundreds of years ago you can think about it. I'm going to show you a little bit about maybe you never see my notes, the musical notes for the Chinese Qin is a little bit different. See, it has some characters that you don't understand. So for one to play, to learn, even to learn this instrument, you need at least a basic, understanding of the Chinese character, I have to say. Yeah, but it's not that difficult to learn. So this piece I'm going to perform is called 九狂. This piece represents and expresses the joy of drinking wine and also escape from worldly matters. And then I will sing this lyrics in both English and Chinese. So let me translate this one for you. So it's called Quiet Sad Feelings, a Wasted Pain. How to Cure Sadness, Call for Wine. So ancient times, people also like to drink. So when drank all day, bad manners are fine. Each day of my whole life through, I shall drink pots of brew. It is such bliss to cruise the land of booze. Sober then drank and wild as I choose. Once in the hills, I forget big news. So I will perform this one. Okay. 不惧世事小繁忙，何以解忧阅读旁？寻寻真日人疏狂。多年3万路千长，一三百上，滔滔那乐，入醉的那狂，醒而后醉，醉滴滴那狂。 入山大师身相望。Now the English version. So, quiet sad feelings, a wasted pain. How to cure sadness, call for wine. When drank all day, bad manners are fine. Each day of my whole life through, I shall drink great pots of brew. It is such bliss to cruise the land of booze. Sober then drunk and wild as the truth. Once in the hills, I forget big news. Thank you so much. I will go home and practice this English translation.